Next on Good Morning El Paso, jury selection begins in the trial for the man accused of killing the American sniper, Chris Kyle. But will the blockbuster movie prevent the man from getting a fair trial?
Schools in the El Paso Independent School District are on the chopping block, but students and parents are not letting go without a fight. Plus,
we intend to find out what makes this accident different. What was it that made this different that caused this to be fatal?
NTSB investigators still trying to figure out how 6 people were killed on a New York commuter train. The latest on this ongoing investigation.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC7's Good Morning El Paso.
Good morning, El Paso, Las Cruces, and Juarez. I'm Stephanie Valle.
And I'm Hillary Floren. Good morning, everyone. The weather's been gorgeous the past few days, but can we expect the same as we head into the weekend?
All important question. That? Yes.
Heading into the weekend?
Exactly. We're so close to the weekend. We're looking forward to that, of course, Crystal, but we have to get through today, and it's going to be a little windy today.
That's right. Through the morning hours, especially, we're looking at some breezy conditions. If you're in West El Paso, you're going to feel the winds more so than East El Paso because of backdoor cold front. Now, I say cold front, a lot of times we see those temperatures drop 10, 20 degrees. This is a pretty weak cold front. We're talking a little cooler this morning. Check out your temperatures. We're at 38 in El Paso right now instead of the 40s. 33 is what it feels like thanks to winds officially at just 6 miles per hour. Again, if you're in West El Paso, those winds in between 10 and 20 miles per hour through the morning. In Las Cruces, 38 also the temperature. Winds feel light, but if you're right up against the Organ Mountains, likelihood is breezier conditions are going to persist. We're looking at gusts into the mid-20s outside, so we're not talking an extremely windy forecast, just breezy and lighter winds moving later into the day. We'll talk more about that and a slightly cooler afternoon. Plus, we're going to look at temperatures warming back to the 70s and just continuing to warm on the 7-day forecast a few minutes from now.
Thanks so much, Crystal. And now to the headlines. A motorcycle crash has one person recovering in the hospital at this hour. It happened in East El Paso around 9 o'clock last night at the intersection of Montwood and McRae. That's right in front of Eastwood High School. We're told the motorcyclist collided with a truck and was taken to Del Sol Medical Center with serious injuries. That area has since reopened to traffic, so should not be a problem this morning. And new details now on the Border Patrol agent accused of attempted murder. Alberto Montelongo allegedly held his estranged wife, Angelica Parra, and another man hostage during a standoff at a home in Montana Vista. That man, Jesus Rodriguez, was shot in the head. Despite being wounded, though, he was able to call 911. That sparked a SWAT standoff Monday night that lasted several hours. ABC7 has learned problems at that home started last Friday when Montelongo was arrested for allegedly assaulting his estranged wife. We spoke with Rodriguez's uncle, who says his nephew is doing better this morning.
Thank God he's doing okay, but that's all we know.
Rodriguez said his nephew had been dating 48-year-old Border Patrol agent Angelica Parra, who was apparently separated from Montelongo, her husband. Parra, who was a Juarez police officer for 12 years before becoming a U.S. citizen, was featured in this ABC7 story back in 2008. She was considered one of the best shots on the Border Patrol.
Even though the El Paso School District hasn't made any final consolidation or closure plans, parents and students at Bell Elementary School are taking actions to save their school. Dozens showed up for an after-school protest yesterday. They chanted, "Don't close the school," in Spanish. An EPISD report says the 54-year-old school is projected to be at 65% capacity in 5 years. Although the district held a meeting in November, Bell's Parents Committee says both the school and district haven't provided them information to explain why it's on the list of schools that should be closed.
It should be saved. I mean, there's a lot of people around here that live close to the school and don't have cars to come walk down here. And then supposedly they're saying that there's not enough students here. I think it's good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with not having too many students.
The Parents Committee tells us they'll request a meeting with school administrators this week. A district spokeswoman tells ABC7 the school board is committed to vetting other options before voting on any closures.
Meanwhile, happening today, UTEP students will have a front seat when it comes to learning more about legal professions. The highest court of criminal appeals in the state of Texas will make its first appearance in El Paso this morning. Students will watch court hearings in 2 cases. First appeals is of a capital murder case where the defendant was sentenced to death and an aggravated robbery that resulted in a life sentence. The arguments will take place at 9 this morning at the Geological Science Building at UTEP. Also a question and answer session for students, and that will start at 11. A big day. Meanwhile, the trial for the man accused of killing a state trooper resumes today. Edgardo Flores is accused of running a red light, killing Trooper Javier Arana back in 2012. During testimony yesterday, witnesses said it was Arana who ran the red light. He was responding to an emergency call at that time. One witness said he was 99% sure it was Arana. The other said he was 100%. The trial continues at 8:30 this morning.
And another trial we're following is that of the former Marine accused of killing Chris Kyle. Jury selection is set to begin today.
Kyle's life story is told in the blockbuster movie American Sniper, but there are questions about whether Eddie Ray Routh can get a fair trial.
Good morning, El Paso's Luke Liddon is live with more details. Luke.
Hillary, Stephanie, American Sniper has been a big hit across the country. It is now the highest grossing war film ever, earning more than $240 million so far, and has also earned 6 Academy Award nominations, including Best Picture and Best Actor. With Kyle's popularity growing of late, Routh's attorney says the trial should be moved out of the small Texas county where Kyle was killed.
Those people that are being called for jury duty this week, they already had their opinions. They've been living with this for 2 years.
Some experts say the recent publicity generated by the movie may not be enough to jeopardize the case. It was in 2013 that Kyle was shot and killed at a Texas gun range. Routh, the man accused of shooting him, was being helped by Kyle and dealing with PTSD. About 500 people are expected to report to court to get information on juror qualifications and potential exemptions today and tomorrow. Final jury selection is set for Monday and Tuesday, with opening statements next Wednesday. Ladies, back to you.
Right. Thank you so much, Luke, for that live report.
And now moving on, investigators are sifting through the debris of that deadly train accident in New York.
The charred remains moved to a rail yard for inch-by-inch inspections later today.
Overnight, crews started fixing the damaged tracks. ABC's Valle has the latest developing now.
Federal investigators are now carefully examining the charred wreckage removed from the scene of the deadliest accident in the history of this busy New York commuter rail.
Report of an explosion on the tracks.
6 people killed instantly Tuesday on the commute home from work about 20 miles north of New York City when witnesses say a black SUV gets stuck beneath the crossing gates. The train, unable to stop in time, pushing the exploding SUV 1,000 feet down the tracks. Ellen Brody, a mother of 3, was behind the wheel.
Whoever she encountered in life, they left smiling.
Smoke poured from the train as passengers scrambled to escape.
Things started to at least appear to flying in the car, and maybe it was sparks that were shooting off, and there was just a lot of devastation. It was sort of hard to understand, given what had happened, just a lot of destruction.
We intend to find out what makes this accident different. What was it that made this different that caused this to be fatal to 5 people on board that train?
Investigators acknowledge that crashes like these between a vehicle and a train rarely kill riders. In this case, they believe the electrified third rail ripped from the ground and piercing the train cars may have been the deadly difference. They're working this morning to find out how it became dislodged and why the SUV was on the tracks in the first place. Bazi Kanani, ABC News, Washington.
It's 6:08. We have some traffic closures to remind you about. The left lanes on I-10 East and West between America's Interchange and Zaragoza Overpass are closed. Remember, this is until Friday morning. It'll close from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and then once again from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. And this is another major closure affecting Eastsiders. Beginning today at 9 a.m., America's southbound will be completely closed between I-10 and the North Loop overpass. It will open back up at 5 p.m., but it will close again at 9 p.m. until 5 the following morning. This will last until Friday. And one more closure. The eastbound Yarborough exit ramp will be closed today and tomorrow from 7 to 4, just the ramp.
And now taking a look at our TxDOT traffic cameras at 6:09. Looking over the far east side of town, you can see that I-10 and Joe Battle traffic starting to pick up slightly as people are headed into town from the far east side, but no problems to report at this time. We'll keep an eye on roads throughout the morning.
The city of El Paso has not seen a case of the measles since the 90s.
But that doesn't mean health officials here are not on alert. What El Paso's lead epidemiologist had to tell us.
Also, there has been a dramatic increase in the amount of men getting Botox injections. And as we found out, it's not just for the face anymore either.
But first, will these gorgeous temperatures last until the weekend? Crystal Clyde is standing by with the preview. Crystal.
Well, hopefully you like the 70s because we certainly are tracking them for more than one more day. We'll talk at how long that run of the 70s should last after your break.
This is ABC 7, where news comes first.